I am senior consultant and co-chairman of the Institute of Minimal Access Metabolic and Bariatric Surgery at Sir Gangaram Hospital. See, for last 22 years, I have been practicing in what is known as minimal access surgery. Minimal access surgery is a technique in which we make a small hole in the abdomen and we put in a telescope, and through that telescope we do various surgeries like surgery of the gallbladder, appendix, hernia, and now for the last few years we are also able to do what is known as bariatric surgery or the weight loss surgery. At Gangaram Hospital we have a team of 10 surgeons with us. My colleague Dr. Praveen Bhatia, who is the chairman of the institute, and there are other 3 colleagues, Dr. Subiraj John, Dr. Mukund Khetan and Dr. Vivek Bindal. Then ours is also a training institute. We have postgraduates coming to our center for training in laparoscopic surgery, and we also have a clinical associate. So overall we have about 10 surgeons who are MS in surgery. Bariatric surgery or weight loss surgery is relatively new in India. About 15 years back when I had gone to America, I used to see the huge people over there, and I thought probably a country like mine, which is malnourished, will never need such a surgery. But in the last 10 years, we have seen a phenomenal growth of obesity in our country. You will be shocked that a recent survey done in our country, in Delhi, in Mumbai, shows that 30 to 40% of our children are obese. And out of the 30-40, at least 10 to 15% are so obese that they would require surgery. And without surgery, they will develop so many comorbidities. They can develop diabetes, hypertension, sleep disorders, joint problems, and they need to be addressed as a level of an emergency. In fact, WHO has declared obesity as the fastest growing epidemic in the world. See, many times people ask me this question that who are the people who require bariatric surgery? If 100 people walk into my clinic, probably only 10 of them would be requiring bariatric surgery. And there are specific guidelines for this. What we do is a calculation known as the body mass index, that is the weight in kilograms is divided by the height in meter squares, and that gives us the BMI. According to the guidelines which have been laid for Asia, anybody who has his BMI more than 32.5 kilograms per meter square, along with comorbidities like diabetes or hypertension or joint pains or sleep disorders, would be requiring surgery. Anybody who has a BMI of 35 kilograms per meter square without these comorbidities would also be requiring bariatric surgery. Now the question asked to me again is that who are the kind of people who are coming to your clinic? Most of the people now who are coming to our clinic are people in either in the age group of 30 to 40, and we surprised there are more women coming to my clinic than men. And again, what is distressing and disturbing is that we have more and more adolescent obesity coming to the clinic. That means school-going children, children who have become so obese that they've gone into depression, they stopped going to their schools, they started smoking, young girls who because of obesity has developed infertility, they have developed menstrual problems, they have developed some kind of malignancies because of this obesity, they are not able to sleep well. In fact, we had some patients come to the hospital in the emergency. Last week we had a lady who was about 185 kg, and she came to us in the emergency with respiratory distress. That means she was not able to breathe. She was kept on a ventilator. We optimized that patient, operated on her, and today I can proudly say she lost 90 kg after 6 months and walking and living happily. Regarding the advantages and disadvantages of bariatric surgery, the advantages of bariatric surgery we all know, that you lose weight, you become healthier. In 70% of the patients, your diabetes goes away, your sleep disorders go away, your work performance improves, your sexuality improves, in young girls their fertility improves. But yes, like any other surgery, this surgery too has its side effects. Now, bariatric surgery is divided into 2 categories. One is known as a malabsorptive surgery, which is also known as a bypass. In this bypass, what we do is that along with decreasing the size of the stomach, we also make the food bypass a portion of the intestine. So in these patients, you have to be careful that we have to take care of their nutritional deficiencies. So they have to be followed up on regular intervals. We have to monitor their protein levels, their multivitamin levels, and as and when these deficiencies develop, we keep them on supplements. Another popular surgery which according to our center at Gangaram Hospital which we do for most of our young patients and adolescent, is what is known as a sleeve gastrectomy. In a sleeve gastrectomy, we do not cause any malabsorption. What we do is we just restrict the amount of the stomach. Let's say a normal stomach is this size. In an obese person, it is going to be this big. So what we do with surgery is that we bring it down to about 1/10 the size. So the patient eats less, is less hungry, and after some time when the stomach dilates to the normal size, he becomes like any other normal person. Another important observation is that all the hunger hormones of the body lie in the fundus of the stomach. So when we do this surgery, the hunger hormone, or which is known as ghrelin, falls about 90%. So these people will feel less hungry, they will eat less, and they'll have a much healthier lifestyle. You ask me the benefits of minimal access surgery, I think it's a foregone conclusion. The last 2 decades have shown that minimal access surgery is here to stay. And this is not because of me. This is because of the advantages to the patient. It is the patients who have popularized minimal access surgery. The patients go back to work fast. The loss of working days after minimal access surgery is minimal. Also, cosmetically, it is very well accepted because you have only 5 millimeters hole. Pain is less. So all these benefits accrue and have made minimal access surgery very popular. The advantages to a surgeon are also there. In minimal access surgery, what we see on the screen and the television is 20 times magnified. So we have a very precise role to see. We can see better, we can perform better. And another addition which has happened in Gangaram Hospital now is the robotic surgery. A robotic surgery is a step further in the direction of precision. A robot gives us a 3D vision, and again the precision is much more than laparoscopic surgery. So some high-end surgeries like super obese people or microvascular surgery or surgeries which require precision can be done very easily with the robotic surgery. Talking about our institute at Gangaram Hospital, where we do a lot of laparoscopic surgery, the laparoscopic surgery would be divided into 2 major conditions. One would be the surgery for the gallbladder, the appendix and the hernia, which is also known as the laparoscopic GI surgery, that is the abdominal surgery, and the bariatric surgery. I can very proudly say that we are one of the leaders of bariatric surgery in this country. In the just concluded American Society of Metabolic and Bariatric Surgeries conference held in Boston, we in fact presented 500 cases of sleeve gastrectomy that we have done at Gangaram Hospital, and our results were very well accepted there. In fact, our paper was accepted as a paper of distinction and we were honored there. So today we have statistics of our own country to show that although we are different in terms of our dietary habits, but many of our procedures are common. My advice to people for obesity would be, first of all, prevention. Prevention is better than cure, and I think we have to be very aggressive in doing our school health. I think obesity has to be controlled at the level of schools. So what we suggest, and we have actually started doing in Gangaram Hospital, that schools around Gangaram Hospital, we adopted them. What we do is that we do the BMI of these children, and all the children who are found to be overweight, we counsel their parents. We send a nutritionist to their home and see what is wrong with their cooking habits. See, at present, according to the guidelines, the youngest age which we accept in a young girl, let's say, would be what, 14 years of age. The basic criteria for selecting younger people is that we look for their skeletal maturity, because we do not want to harm them in any way in the long term. So it's very important that their growth is not hampered. So seeing the skeletal maturity of the children, I would say the cutoff age would be 14 years of age. And similarly, I would say that the upper age group is about 65 years of age, which can be extended to 70 years in some cases. But again, you have to see the advantages and disadvantages of surgery. At many forums, they ask me, how are you different at Gangaram Hospital? My answer is very simple. At Gangaram Hospital, medicine is not commerce. We are here for a cause. And I can proudly say this is the only hospital in the city or maybe in the nation where 20% of the patients are operated free of cost. We try and accommodate all group of patients. We have a semi-paying or a sharing room in which surgery is done at a very subsidized cost, and we also have single rooms, deluxe rooms, and even the suite rooms. So Gangaram Hospital is one hospital which tries to offer facilities to all segments of the society. The person who's driving a rickshaw, the person who's driving a Mercedes, is equally important for us.